Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another King of the Kern Adventures. Today, we're going to go out and chase some more of that Kern River gold on the bedrock. So stick with us today. Enjoy the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. I read all my comments, so go ahead. See you out there. Alright, so I'm going to do some wet classifying today. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to fill some buckets up with some water here off the Soretta Street ditch, which is the Kern River water. So I'm going to take 3 buckets of water today. Hopefully I can classify that. Yeah, I have 3 buckets of classified material by the time I get back. Go ahead and fill up a couple of buckets. Oh, hard to film it is at the same time. Alright, so you get the general idea. We got a bucket of water, got a lid. Don't want it spilling all over the back of the Jeep. There we go, 1 bucket down. I'm going to fill 2 more for a total of 3. Okay, so we are back at our bedrock spot. If you guys remember, I cleaned that off the other day. I'd come back afterwards. I chased that bedrock down into the hole a little bit. Gold was okay. It wasn't phenomenal. I think it's going to be way down at the bottom. I don't have a hand dredge right now to really get down there and clean that stuff out. I'm working on building one. I'm going to get over the hardware store, get the parts, make myself one so I can clean that off better. So you guys saw the last video. I mean, the cleanup wasn't that good. I wasn't real happy with it. Didn't see any big pieces. So I came back the next day or day after, and I decided to go what I call the low-hanging fruit. I've got this over here where it's a lot shallower, and so I cleaned up. Oh, if you see my foot, I cleaned up from about here back to here. If you guys can see that, you know, I didn't get it. It was still a little wet, so I couldn't get it completely cleaned off, but I did pretty good. Well, it looks like somebody else has come back, chased it back another couple of feet right there, taking some material. But what I do like is I see a lot of dirt left on the bedrock. They did not clean that off well at all. That is where all my gold's going to be. So I will gladly take your cleanups on that. I'll sweep that off as best I can, and I'm going to get some gold out of it, and then I'm going to continue out. Probably drag it around this way over here, stay on the shallow. It's starting to get a little deeper up there, but same thing. Again, we're working down here right along the bottom here, this bottom 4 inches or so. Let me see, where's my hand? There we go, bottom 4 inches or so has all the gravel. It's got the rock, and we've got, this is not really clean. We might clean this up. There we go. And then you guys can see this is all what we're pulling out down here, all the rock this area. It's all highly oxidized quartz. Got lots of different stuff in here. There is a giant quartz seam up here. I'll do a video on it one day and show you guys. About 2 feet wide, runs through this whole valley here. A lot of old workings around it, and there's some gold. I don't think it was as rich as what they wanted because they didn't mine it heavily. There are a couple of mines that are right here that are going into it, but most of them are not that large, so evidently it didn't pay off that well. But I mean, I'm seeing stuff right there. I don't know if you guys can see that little shiny right in front of that rock right there. That might be a piece of visible gold right there, I'm hoping. So and there's a few more pieces over there, but I will gladly clean off this bedrock here, take that down. So I got 3 buckets of water to wet classify today. Again, classifying down to 1/8 of an inch for the gold cube, and I'm gonna get digging. Alright, so you can see I've cleaned that bedrock up, did a good sweep on it. Still a bit damp in spots, but that's okay. Those damp spots are actually cool because they will show you that the dark colors show you where those cracks and crevices are that you're missing. So you can get in. I got in there, scraped them out, waiting for them to dry a little bit. I'll wait for that section up there to dry too, and then I'll sweep over this all again. But I'd say I probably cleaned a good half a bucket almost off of that from from just sweeping up what they left behind. So I'm not sure who cleaned on this, but one rule: go to Dollar General by yourself. I'll show you right here. Get yourself a little dustpan and broom. You clean that stuff off. You're going to find you got a whole lot more gold. So, and here's my classifier. Again, classifying down to 1/8 inch for the gold cube. It's a kind of a cheesy classifier. It's the only one I could find in 1/8 inch. It only holds about 1 scoop at the most, 1 shovel scoop. So I will be getting a good Garrett here shortly, 1/8 inch. Jeff down at the mine shaft promised me he would have some in here shortly, so I'm hoping that he'll have them in. So I'm going to do some more digging and we'll get back to you. Alright, so there we go. We got the Queen of the Kern over there cleaning up the bedrock. So we cleaned out this area. We swept it as best we could with our little brush and our dustpan. But you can see it is a bit damp, so I think I'll probably come back tomorrow after this is all dried up, sweep it up good. I might just throw it in the pan and I'll try and see if I can get out here, sweep it up, pan it out and see. But we're down to our last, this is our last bucket, classifying our last little bit here. But again, guys, just to let you see what's going on here. I mean, this is the stuff we're pulling out of the ground here. I mean, this quartz, this is a big flow stone quartz. I mean, float. We got lots of this old mineralized quartz in here. And some of these pieces, if you can see them, I mean, they're awesome looking stuff. I mean, we got all kinds of colors. We got, you know, good red quartz right there, brown quartz, white quartz. I mean, if you look right there, this just came out of my bucket right there. So there's another piece. This is all the stuff's coming out of my tailings. So I mean, the signs should say that there's gold here. You know, it's good indicators. And we found gold here before. Looking hopefully today for a couple larger pieces. My tailing pile's getting awful big, so I'm gonna have to get out here and check it all over. But you know, 80% of that's all quartz, and then the gravel's all decomposed granite. So down to our last bucket, we're gonna classify that, get back to the lodge, and run it through the gold cube. So I'll let you guys see that here in a little bit. So I'm gonna finish classifying this, clean all this stuff up. Once again, there's that section of bedrock that we cleaned off. You know, we got a lot more we can chase down around there. But just the, you know, look at that buggy quartz we got right there. Some more quartz. This is all just stuff just laying, most of this is just laying on the ground. I mean, if we come over here and look at what's around, I mean, this is just stuff that's just floating. It's just sitting here and it's all float. I mean, you know, when you're picking up pieces of quartz that look like this, you know, good mineralization on them. Some bugs in there, it looked like. There's a couple of bugs. So, yeah, my wife says it's a good workout. Queen of the Kern says, come on out, there's another piece. You know, this is just the stuff, but you can tell here's where the old ground kind of got exposed. The top's kind of been washed off, and you can just see all of that quartz right there. So, there's a lot of stuff to do. I told you guys about the old workings in this area before, so we come over here. Here's some of the stuff. You can see that the old timers, I mean, they dug in here hard. They had trenches all through this area here. There are some mines up above it on the hillside here, but you know, you can see this place was worked pretty hard, but did happen to find this patch of ground here. It was untouched by the old timers. So their loss is my gain. See you back at the lodge. Okay, so getting the gold cube set up. A little thing when you're doing the gold cube here, the only thing you really got to do to prep it is you need to make sure that you get all the bubbles out of the mat down here. This is the vortex matting. It's got the small little hole. So what we're going to do is going to pour a little bit of dish soap out on there. Just a little bit, don't need much. Take our brush and we're just going to rub it back and forth. Get that really sudsed up. Sorry about the camera work, trying to do the camera and do this at the same time. Still waiting on my tripod. I did order one, so it's coming. So basically, all I want to do, I want to make sure all those holes get filled so we don't have any bubbles in there. If there's bubbles on the mat, it will not catch gold. So this is in place of jet dry to get it all wet and make sure that all the holes are functioning properly. So this is my second one. I already did that one right there. It's ready to go. So I'm going to stack these back up now that I got them all sudsed up. Turn it on, let it flush out, make sure there's no bubbles in the mat, and then we'll start running some equipment. Alright, so got the gold cube set up. It's all flushed out, washed all that off, got it leveled out with the level. Ended up with almost 3 buckets. I got 1, 2, and not quite 3, but I didn't want to dig anymore, and we had to get back here to the lodge to do a check-in. So let's see if I can film and scoop at the same time, give you guys an idea of what's going on here with this gold cube. Now this dirt I'm getting right here does have a bit of clay in it, as you can see right there. So when I put it in here, I'm going to break it up just a little bit on the slip plate, just so that the clay doesn't just run straight through and right out the bottom. And 2 things: number 1, if there's gold in it, it'll just carry it right through, and number 2, it has a tendency to roll over the gold and pick up other gold, so we don't want to do that. So we're going to get this on up in here just like that, roll through. You can see this is hard to do, but I'm going to break it up a little bit, smooth it all out, and make sure that it all goes down good. Give another scoop. As you can see, it's a little clay. Break it up, get that through there. There goes another scoop. Kind of hard one-handed. I'm getting kind of small scoops, but general idea is there. We just don't want those big clods to go through. I'm going to break that stuff up so it runs over that slick plate good. So rather than make you guys struggle through while I'm videoing this and running it, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll run it out. You guys have seen what happens, and I'll show you the results here at the end. So stay tuned. Alright, there we go. 3 buckets done. Gold cube's been running for 5 minutes or so. You always want to let this run afterwards to clear itself out. It will clear out most of the lighter stuff, just leaving your heavies in there. Give you the least amount of stuff to have to pan down. Now, this runs off 12 volts. You can see the clips right there, pumps down there. Here's what I run it. Just off a regular battery charger. Easy enough. So, now I'm going to turn the pump off here. Get the other clip undone. Pull the hose off. Get my pump out before it washes down the ditch. That's out of the water. Now let's do the reveal together. Now hopefully 90% of the gold is going to get caught on that first tray. Hopefully if we've got any bigger pieces, they'll be right along that front edge or down in the nugget trap. Last one I found down in the nugget trap was a good one. Unfortunately I didn't film it. But we'll take this top slip plate off. Let's see what we got. Put that down. Along there. I'm not seeing anything at the moment. No, it doesn't look like any big pieces today, so we'll just do a normal clean out up and down in the nugget trap that I can see. We'll find out here in a minute. Let's pan it all out. There's a few things down there, but those are just pieces of quartz. This stuff does have a lot of crushed quartz in it. Unfortunately, you can see a lot of that stuff in there. Super heavy stuff, so it does make it a little difficult to pan. You'll have to try to hand classify that stuff on your own to get it out of there once you get down to the black sand. Takes a few extra minutes to do, but you know, something you got to deal with to get on the good ground. All right, let's do what do I expect there? No, not maybe I have a piece right along that edge. Hopefully something will show up. I can't see it, but hopefully something will show up on the video. Alright, see you in a minute. Okay, so got all our concentrates cleaned out of the gold cube. I put them into the gold pan, which is sitting in my panning tub. Got 5 gallons of water in there, fresh off of the Kern River. Right off my ditch here, my basically unlimited water supply. Always nice. I got some jet dry in there to stop that fine gold from floating away. And I'm going to get the pan in here, and hopefully I'll show you when I get to the end, I'll show you the reveal here. So everybody, let's hope for some gold. Alright, so we're going to get ready to pan this out. Stuff in the mud tub, so going to get our big swirl on. I've always been told counterclockwise, don't know why, but I'm going to go with it.
It's actually a very good panner.
I think so. Now I do have a Garrett Super Sluice, but I prefer the shallower pan for my finish for 2 different things. Number one, I've got these ripples. I also have the small ripples that I can use. And then the other thing I like is this lip down in here. When I start tapping to get my gold to come up, it'll actually ride up the side of my Super Sluice, which I'm not real happy about. I want it to just all gather up in a corner. So that's all the concentrates got out of the gold cube, as you can see. Maybe less than a cup. So gonna stratify.
Don't be afraid to shake it.
That's right. Never shake it too much.
And why is that, John?
Because gold will always sink to the bottom. Once it's at the bottom, it can't go anywhere else. But if it's up above, it can't get washed out. So stratification. Always got stratification. Okay, stop. Okay, so there's our final gold of the day. I was hoping for a little bit more, but you know, it's prospecting, those of you guys who know. But you know, that's only 3 buckets of classified material. It's not a lot by any means, but I was hoping to see a little bit more and a couple of good pieces. I'd found a couple good pieces, and of course I never got them on video, so I had a little better clean out. So I think my next time I'm going to break out the sluice box again while some of the creeks are still flowing before they dry up, and we'll go out and do some sluice and see if we can't do better. I got a couple other spots to check, so bedrock's always going to be there if I need to go back. But again, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you on our next one. Have a good day.